Hello, my name is Emmanuel. Welcome to another episode of New Affairs. This is a platform that allows young people like myself to share their opinions on national issues. Today, we're going to be doing a whole new thing. We're going to be reviewing some of the stories that made headlines within the week. And I'm joined by
Lucinho Donio.
Okay. All right. So we'll be going straight into some of the major news that came up within the week. Unfortunately, we're going to start with a very bad news. Last Sunday, we saw in the news that there was a collapse of a building, an abandoned building at Accra New Town Experimental School that resulted in 3 deaths and a number of rescues. So first of all, our condolences to the family and a speedy recovery to all who were actually affected by this unfortunate disaster. Now, the whole problem was infrastructural problem. I saw in one of the news articles that the building had been there for over 10 years, abandoned for over 10 years. And then there were also some warnings for the people not to use that structure. I don't know what happened. And obviously, because it's Palm Sunday, there will be a lot of activities, jumping, singing, and all that because of the joyous entry of Jesus Christ. Now, a lot of people are blaming the engineers or the contractor. Personally, I think we cannot blame them because whatever happened 10 years ago. Obviously, a building that has been left for a while, there will be a problem. What do you think?
Well, I mean, did I hear you say that they had warned them not to enter the building?
That is what they are saying. They are saying
Wow.
There were some communications of people out there that people should not use the structure.
You know, it's one of the problems that we have as a country because I think in other jurisdictions, you don't just want people not to do something.
Take action.
But as a state, you take action, or as authorities, you do something to ensure that the people are actually obeying the rules or the regulations that you have put forth. Because if you just say that people should not go into that building and the building is still there, I mean, in the first place, if you think that the building is weak, and for that matter, people should not go into it, why was it still standing there?
Why was it still there? Yes.
Because if you think that the building, it means that it's of no use. Whether today or tomorrow, it must come down. So why was it still standing there? And then you just say you have warned people not to go into. Okay, what if the people who went into it were children who went to play? I mean, how much can you want children not to do something and then they would actually not do it?
And it's actually close to a school, so obviously there will be
Exactly.
kids there. Yeah.
So it just tells of the glaring, glaring negligence, benign neglect that we see in this country every day. This one is just one of those things. I mean,
and I think as a country, we wait till something bad happens before we take action.
Always.
All of a sudden, people are giving opinions.
Always. And there's another very tall one.
Building, yeah.
I think they say the place is Ashalibuchi School Junction or something. It's very tall.
I think there have been some
very,
pictures
very tall.
circulating.
And even before this one came down, I'd seen posts on social media, especially X, where people have been calling on the authorities to check that building. But, you know, we are in Ghana. Until something happens, God forbid, they will never pay attention to it. It's something that we must really...
Another thing is, shouldn't there be protocols? Now, coming away from the building itself, the problem around the building, away from that, when it comes to rescue missions, there should be a protocol.
Absolutely.
Now, this is not the first time we've seen this tragedy.
Yeah.
Some years ago, we saw the Achimota Melcom.
Mm-hmm.
And we had to wait for people from Israel to come and help.
Seriously.
By now, shouldn't there be some protocols that we could follow?
In fact, I was really shocked to find, I think when the Minister for Education went there, he was interviewed for a few seconds. And one of the things he said was that we didn't have the appropriate equipment. I was shocked because this is kind of a disaster where, I mean, all the authorities, those, I mean, at the helm of affairs, knew what was going on. So everybody knew that the most important people in the country knew that, no, urgent attention is needed here. And yet,
no one did anything.
I mean, the best of equipment we had was not able to salvage the situation at that time. It means that we are really doomed. We are really doomed as a country.
I think a military group.
We are really doomed as a country because if basic equipment the fire service people do not have, sometimes you see these fire service people, they are going to douse a fire, and then on their way, the car just rolls over and it's on the.
Yes,
I mean,
recently we saw that, yeah.
it tells the kind of equipment and our preparedness as a country to face situations like this. Very pathetic. Our structure is totally broken down, and this one is no joke, and it affects everybody, whether you are so rich or so poor. Once the structure decides to affect you, Charlie, you go down. You go down fast.
All right. So away from the disaster, another news that made the headline was the article or the report from the Fourth Estate about the Big Push project and how about more than 70% of the contracts actually were sole sourced.
Yeah.
Now, the ministry has come out to clarify. There are a lot of communications going around in regards to that. Is it that this government has, in a way, when you're looking at the promises that they made, to a certain extent, they have failed us, or it's still in the beginning?
Well, I mean, I think Fourth Estate, as a media organization, they've been doing their work and they've proven to be very independent. So, first of all, if they are coming up with things like this that point to the fact that there's likely some wrongdoing going on somewhere, I think that, of course, we should give it the needed attention because they have proven to be credible. And so I really hope that by the time, the sun sets, whatever they are saying would be baseless, because if it is true, it means that, this country must be saved by some superpower somewhere, because it will just be a back and forth thing. Today, and people will come do this. Tomorrow, they will deceive Ghanaians and come for the first year.
The response from President Mahama shows the readiness of the government. But is it going to be business as usual? Because this will not be the first time we've seen some expose or something.
If it's not going to be business as usual, the first pointers, or one of the first pointers, should be how oral is faring. If oral is going very well, then we know that, okay, this will not be business as usual. But so far, we have not seen any concrete, tangible
with oral,
action with oral yet. So,
it involves legal processes.
That's what
legal process, you cannot rush it.
And definitely, you cannot just throw anybody in jail without having gone through the court system.
Yes.
So, if oral is not seeing the light of day, then we can't trust anything else, because that's what they champion so much, actually. They're coming to catch criminals. But where are the criminals? Seems all the criminals have disappeared.
But have you heard...
Even those who were seriously accused that, hey, you have done this. We are not seeing anything here. Yeah. And it's almost 2 years into...
Yes, almost 2 years. Yes. But let's give them time. But have you heard of the clarification from the Roads Ministry?
About the sole sourcing
about the big
thing.
push, sole sourcing, yes.
What was it?
So they've come out to indicate that there are a number of contracts that have been issued out by the ministry, and comparing it to the number that was sole sourced, the percentage is not something that is
insignificant.
It's insignificant.
Oh, okay.
But the problem is, Fourth Estate is not looking at the whole contract as
so they are looking at specific.
They are looking at
contracts.
just contracts under the big push.
Okay.
And under the big push, today I was listening to both the Honorable Felix Fusukachi and then Mr. Suleiman, the Fourth Estate man.
Right.
I think he's the executive director for media, something. I think
Foundation for West Africa.
Yeah. Yes. So he was saying that they are looking at just the big push. Now, the
big push is a huge project.
It's a very huge project. So and the amount of money.
Yeah.
So yes, it is okay for us to look at the whole thing, but they are looking at just the big push. And from the big push, looking at the numbers that were quoted, we should get it. But looking at the number of contracts that were quoted, and then the number out of which was sole source, I think it's more than 70.
Even if it's only the big push, I think it's still a matter of concern. Yes. Because the big push is a very huge. It's the biggest government project.
Yes, very ambitious.
I'm sure for the entire 4 years, there's not going to be any other project that's bigger than the big push. So even if it's only the big push that they focused on in doing their investigation, I think that it's still a matter that must be given attention. Yes. So and if it really happens that almost all or majority of their projects were so sourced, then it raises concerns, yes.
So that's what President John Dramani Mahama has ordered a probe into. But we are hoping that it's as usual, it will not be business.
We are really hoping
business
so.
As usual. and then the right thing will be done.
Sure.
Moving on, the employment statement that was made by the Medina MP, Honorable Francis Xavier Susu. So I think he has come out to make some clarifications, apology. I don't know if he apologized, but there has been some clarifications. So we're not going to delve into what he said, but the idea. So his idea was, instead of sitting on social media to be making noise, we can move into entrepreneurship, start creating your own thing. And then he gave an example of moving into Indomie business. Now, what he said was, and that is what I have a problem with.
Okay.
What he said was, as a young person, if you have, let's say, about 10 business Indomie joints, and you're making profit, let's say you are making 200 cedis every day. He did some maths. I'm bad at maths, but I had some 6,000 Ghana cedis
We're in the same
monthly. Some 6,000 Ghana cedis and all that. My issue with whatever he said was, one, if I'm going to do a business, I'm not going to start with 10.
Yeah. Definitely.
If I have money,
you definitely don't be
I'm not going to do
absolutely. You
10.
definitely start with one
So
Indomie joint with
you let's say
table.
it is true. I have just one, and I'm making profit of 200 cedis every day. For a start, that's good.
Yeah.
But let's not forget that I will need a space
Sure. The person going to give you the space will charge.
or charge.
Yes. You need to buy one small
I'll
cylinder.
reinvest into
Absolutely.
it because the Indomie doesn't give it to me for free. So I will reinvest. So these are some of the things that I think our leaders can look at.
Honestly, when people make statements like that, sometimes, I think that it's half truth because
It comes from a very good place. they
yeah,
have
but
not
it's
really
half truth.
understood.
Yeah. I don't think that Ghanaian youth are lazy. It's never
No,
true.
no.
Charlie, people who can carry that bag of rice, the medium one, is it? What's the kilogram? I saw a video of one gentleman carrying about 6 of those on his head and offloading it from a truck. I don't think Ghanaians are lazy at all.
We are not.
But there are no opportunities to, for them to tap in and, quote and unquote, exploit for themselves. And on the other hand, many of the people who he say are making noise, they are looking for Elon Musk's money.
And
they are looking for Facebook coins.
Those
So
people
it's
saying are
intentional.
making noise.
Yeah.
I can tell you for a fact that most of them are actually making
They are making money
than
from
people in
social
office.
media. That's why people intentionally these days say things to, they call it clickbait or something. Charlie, it's very intentional.
At the end of
they
the
are
day,
they are making
money.
coins, and those dollars when they change it into Ghana
Baby.
cedis, you get it. So
Okay, but I don't know if TikTok is not paying, right? TikTok is not paying Ghanaians yet. I think it's something that they are working on. But at the end of the day, sponsorship deals, ambassadorial deals, and all that, they are making money.
many of
than
these
people in
guys,
office.
the US embassy is always calling them for programs. I don't know. They are going. These bloggers.
So
I don't
it's
want to
quite
mention any names.
unfortunate.
Yeah, so.
He has come out to apologize, so we will not go into that. But I think right now, all government officials see, and one thing about this is when they are in opposition, that is what they use.
Yeah.
One of the major things that unemployment.
But once they come
into power, that's when they remember that there's something
Sure.
called
And government is
entrepreneurship.
always quoting numbers about how many people have been
1
employed
million
and all
jobs.
that.
1 million jobs. I don't even know one person. No. We are a lot to do,
It's
but
serious, man.
1 million. I don't even know
No
one person.
1 million
employed
is
by a government.
a
There
lot.
is
So
too
if you
much.
don't know even one person employed, then it's real. It's a real challenge.
So I think yes, we understand that statement came from a good place, and it is true that we cannot all rely on government to provide
Some
jobs.
must be entrepreneurs.
Some must be
For that, we
entrepreneurs.
wholly agree.
But I think at the end of the day, even if you are not providing jobs as government or as a state, if you are not providing jobs, we should provide
the
a
avenues,
conducive
yes,
environment
the
and
opportunities, a conducive
for
one to make
people
the
to-
people who want to go into it do that.
Yes, and again, within the week, I think this is one of my favorite stories that came up within the week. The public accounts committee here.
Those people are always saying something, but nobody ever gets into trouble for misusing state resources. I'm not even interested in watching it any longer. They just go and make it seem as if hey, they are working. All be lie.
Hopefully. But one thing I took from all the hearings that I actually listened to was the fact that there are certain things that we blame politicians for. But I don't think.
Yeah, I
it
mean,
is
it's
always
clear. In Ghana, the
politicians.
corruption is always pushed. It's
It's like because they are the face, they get the attack.
the people in the local assembly, the people, MCs, DCs, the district assemblies, municipal assemblies. That's where
the directors and
I'm telling you, chief directors and those people.
They enjoy it. And it's like they are quiet about it because they don't get blamed. Because how can monies be paid for a project, mobilization, and no work has been done? Money has been paid for some vehicles. The vehicles never came.
So my goodness, Charlie, people are eating money in the
They're enjoying
eating money.
This and it's a bit unfortunate.
It's serious.
This is happening, and I think
sometimes I think about the fact that this is even the social media era. So consider like 30 years ago, governments 30 years ago or before 30 years.
Can imagine.
Where there was no social media where you will see a flyer flying around saying that, hey, this amount of money has done this. So if Charlie Oma Chele off because of Pierre Huom.
And it's and I think the one thing that made people talk really is when I think the deputy minister for Agric and his team appeared before the PS and they spoke about how one supplier could not carry out the contract because some people hijacked the warehouse. And then Honorable Edem Agbana, MP, came in and then I think whilst the discussions were going on, whatever was going on, one of the public servants, a lady, made a statement that the supplier could not carry out the contract because party people hijacked the place. Edem Agbana came in and said the woman should clarify what she means or what she meant by party people hijacked. And the way everybody there made it look like Honorable Edem Agbana's question was not relevant. It was a big problematic. Big. Because it is clear, party people means one party people. Of course, you can't tell me it's a party to the contract or because in the beginning the whole idea was established that the people who hijacked the place were not part of the contract. So you can't tell me they were party to it.
Exactly.
The explanation from Honorable John Demelo, Deputy Agric Minister, was they're also Ghanaian. So what she means is
we joke about
I can see, to me, that's from where I was sitting. It was clear that they were trying to protect a certain party.
Absolutely.
And I think even the minority side did not also argue because it can swing both. What if
it's my side?
It was MPP people who actually. So they were all trying to protect their party. But Edem Agbana kept insisting. If the idea was to protect the party, I get it. But to make it look like his question was irrelevant, it's not. Because
and you know it's one of the dangers of politics, or let me say the hazards, especially when you belong to either sides of the party, one of them, and you want to come out as that person who wants to really effect some change, then there will be a problem. Just like the scenario you are giving now, they didn't want to let the guy push further so that if it comes out that maybe the people are NDC people, then there's trouble.
It can backfire.
And I'm sure he himself knew that, okay, this question that I'm pushing for, it can end up that the party people being referred to are my own NDC people.
Yes.
But I realized on social media, he was getting thumbs up from people who are supposed to be neutrals. I mean, online. And that's a good thing.
I supported whatever he was saying.
So such a person, I mean, behind closed doors, behind the scenes, if he is not really getting people who are telling him that, hey, we are for you, keep doing what you are doing, there will be a problem.
Yes.
And so far, we just hope that he continues and runs the path that he's running now. And I'm sure that the young people just like him will be proud that an MP of less than, is he less than 40? I don't know.
He looks young. I will not be surprised if he's less than 40.
Sure.
Now, I think this is something that I've observed. And I don't know if they can ever hear this, but if they can, I think that for these public committee meetings or hearings or whatever, they should allow people to also express themselves in the language that they feel comfortable. Sure. Because sometimes when they are talking, you can see that there is a bit
language
of
barrier
challenge when it comes to expressing themselves. See, if they had allowed certain people to speak in the language that they actually
they would have said things.
Because the procurement man,
They would have said things.
the one who
It's
said
very
that,
true.
you
It's
could see
very
that he
true.
was shaking.
He wanted
his
to
lip.
say things, but Charlie,
What do you mean, Ka?
language has always been a barrier.
So
you know,
if there is
it's
a
essentially,
possibility,
yeah,
I
they
think it's
should
something
be
that they
able to.
can
And it's
consider.
one of the things I like about the current Speaker of Parliament. He has always been pushing for, traditional things to be part of our government system.
Yes.
So it's one of the things that he has said that very soon Parliament should be aiming towards allowing parliamentarians to speak, because even the parliamentarians, Charlie, some of them really
yes.
suffer. So once there can be a mechanism to make sure that those who don't speak a particular language are able to understand what is going on in Parliament, I think it's a good thing and must be pushed
It's
for.
something that they should consider because even as you said, the parliamentarians,
Charlie, some of them suffer.
especially when they are under pressure.
I'm telling
I think
you.
there are only a few. Honorable Sam
It's part of the
George,
reason some of them never talk. English, no.
Honorable, see, there are only a few, them leaders of the house.
Yeah.
Honorable Sam George, Honorable Kojo Nkrumah.
The fluent ones.
Even under pressure, that's when they actually flew. And I'm like, Charlie, these people, they have control.
Exactly.
But so because of our time, we will end with another set of bad news. I think that was Friday. 2 accidents were recorded. One at Tahiru, Accra. That's in the Bono East region. 8 people died, 27 injured. And there was another accident that actually happened at Kwashiman, involving a church bus and a truck. That also one person died.
I saw that one.
And 20 injured. It's a sad. Our condolences to the family and speedy recovery to the affected people.
Sure.
Now the issue with these accidents, the Tahiru Accra one, the MCE spoke, and what he was saying is the accident happened because of a big pothole.
Talking about the big pothole, I hear there is one in the middle of is it Oponglu? I saw yes, in the news there's one big pothole just in the middle of the road, and they've put some barricades around it to make sure that the cars, Charlie,
it's bad,
very bad.
We are waiting for people to die.
Then we go and then give speeches and say all manner of things.
And the MCE was pleading with Ghana Highway Authority
to come and do something
about the pothole.
Wow.
So MCE,
so
cannot do anything about pothole.
What is the use of the decentralized government system we have? Because we know that in the district or the municipal level, the MCE is the president of the district or the municipal. I get it if
they don't have enough resources for the whole.
So don't they have? Don't they have this monitoring or whatever team to be checking some of these things?
They're drip machines. People are using it for their personal
things. So I just don't understand why these things happen in that. People are always looking for avenues to use state resources for their own personal things.
The second one, the Kwashiman one, also because the traffic lights had a problem. So you see, these are accidents that could have been avoided.
Structural challenges.
4 people died over something that could have been avoided.
Absolutely.
It is quite sad.
Absolutely. And again, I think that talking about transport, I don't know why as a country of 69 years, almost 70, means that if we had gone to pension, we are 10 years into pension. And there is no effective rail system. You see, because people keep saying this, and I don't know why government is not ready to invest. It appears government is investing, but it just seems like a charade or something. We don't even have a working rail system. Immediately we have a working rail system. Charlie, people will abandon their cars and begin to use the rail often. And how many times have you heard of rail accidents anywhere in the world?
Even if that happens, it means Accra, people will move away from Accra.
Charlie, somebody can be in Nsaom
and come and work in Accra,
Suhum, Volta, and be working and then be coming every day. Because the rail system, what these speed trains, they're able to travel within 30 minutes an hour. You are from one place to the other. You can come from even the north and work in Accra and go back every day. But Charlie, this trotro system is what we want to be doing in Ghana.
Now fuel prices.
Over 30 minutes before it's full. And then, Charlie, why won't you be late to work?
It's
difficult living in this part of the world.
It's so difficult. Now, because of time, we will just wrap this up. But there are other news. The LGBTQ not being a priority, a statement by His Excellency
John Mahama,
which as a result brought huge fire on Honorable
Backlash.
Sam George.
Yes.
The water increment,
Sure.
because of the polymer, the raw materials.
Absolutely.
So water is now going to be
Is it
15
10,
cedis.
15 cities? Or 15
The
cities?
bag will be 15 cedis.
From
which
10
means-
cities to 15
to
cities.
15 cedis, which means one will be 80 pesos to 1 cedi.
Wow.
Sachet water 1 cedi.
Let's go back to Azuma Blues.
Sachet water. Chicho.
We should
Yes.
go back to Azuma Blues as soon as possible.
And then some good news also. His Excellency has indicated that from 25th May, starting 25th May, free visa for all African countries.
Yeah, it's a free.
Visa free.
I think it's some good news. Except that those things they can be said. It's easier said than done.
Yes.
Because you still go and you realize that people are still being, heckled and all manner of things, taken through a whole lot of processes before they enter other countries. So
And then also under Honorable Osman Ayarega. He is the National Youth Authority CEO, right?
yeah.
Yes. The authority has won the 2025 Duke of Edinburgh International Award. So I think these are some of the news. So this brings an end to the review for this week. Next week we will be also coming with more news. We will break it down, give our views and our opinions on it. You can also do same. Follow us on our social media handles. Subscribe to our YouTube channel and like our videos. You can please share. Please share. Again, this is New Affairs and have a lovely day. Bye-bye.